A demon named Hell is performing a ritual to revive a fallen hero named Justy, and her maid is asking her not to do it as it is dangerous. She asks her maid, Hell, not to worry because if he is resurrected, he will be a mere zombie and his will be completely subservient to his master. However, she is concerned about whether she will be able to look at him because Justy sealed her father, a demon king, for all eternity. But she is determined not to give up even if it means to drag him out of the pits of Hades and get her vengeance. Finally, her ritual is completed with the appearance of a bright light. A handsome prince-like hero wakes up from his death and does not seem to know where he is and what happened to him. Hell introduces herself and informs him that he is at the Demon King's castle. It reminds him that he defeated the Demon King and died, so asks her why he is alive there. Hell agrees with him and says she used her art of necromancy and brought him back from the dead. He is astonished to see she is the daughter of the Demon King and asks her what's the point of doing all this. She gives an evil smile and says she did all this to make him her servant and inflict endless humiliation upon him. The arm of necromancy requires absolute obedience to the one who performs it. She will make sure to suffer him of humiliation of being degraded from a hero to a zombie and of not dying but living again in complete and utter shame. She hysterically laughs at him and curses him. Justy gets surprised at first but then embraces her out of nowhere and is grateful to her. She blushes and then pulls him back asking, where is the obedience part of her ritual? He does not care if he has to obey her because it's better to live for someone as a hero. He holds her shoulder and says she has helped him uphold his way of life, the brave road, and is thankful to her. But he is also apologetic to her for what he has done to her. It may have been the desire of his former king, but he was the one who sealed her father. She pushes him back and says she does not care what he thinks, even if he is sorry for his actions. Suddenly, they listen to someone destroying the walls. Her servant informs her about the trouble and points toward the wall to say that the remnants of the hero party are there, destroying a wall. They observe the room that there are only small fires left in the room thanks to the hero taking down all the big guys single-handedly. Hell panics for a bit and orders her servant to take them down, but thinks of using Justy and asks him to defeat them. Justy is surprised a little, which she anticipated. She expects he does not want to hurt his friends, but she is his master, and he has to follow her orders. She is desperate to see his face twisted in anguish and despair. But to ruin her expectations, Justy has gleaned aura and defeats the remnants of Hero's party in a minute. They are also confused Justy was alive all this time and if they are not his buddies. Looking at him beating his comrades, Hell stops him and asks him the reason. He was supposed to ask her while sobbing why he has to kill his comrades. Justy misunderstands her actions that she is ignoring these intruders and comes to the knees that she is a compassionate person. Hell tries to clarify his misunderstanding, but he continues that he should have told her sooner that he has resolved to give his all in his second life, both his brave heart and soul. Hell's heart thumps for a minute, but she shrugs her thoughts and tries to calm down. She has to make him suffer as her servant. The reason she revived him is to avenge her father. While she is collecting her thoughts, he carries her in his arms to go to a safer place for the time being because their defense is far too thin. Without thinking further, she agrees with her while blushing, but in the next moment, she realizes what she did. It's his fault that defenses are such weak, and what's wrong with him? Justy takes her to a safe place with her servant following them. Hell is embarrassed and asks him to let her down. He quickly puts his hand on her mouth to shut her and notices someone coming there. There are some bandits who have banded together to raid the castle in the light of the defeat of the Demon King. There is a girl with black hair and a mask whose sight falls on Demon Princess Hell. She asks her fellows to capture her alive, otherwise they won't get a bounty on her head. Justy realizes bandits have noticed them and are running towards them. He plans to flee away, but Hell pushes him away that he is the one who is stopping those guys right there. She brings out her wings to fly away and says he had the wrong idea. He is not her knight in shining armor, but a merely slave, a male servant. Unexpectedly, he considers her amazing and cool that she has grown incredible wings, which is expected from demons. He is holding her shoulders while saying it. She asks him if he is listening to whatever she is saying. He agrees with her that he understands he is not her knight but a Justy. She becomes positive he is not listening to her. He recalls something that he believes the brave class is able to grow wings as well, and he is sure he learned this skill in the past. With saying that, he trembles, which makes her scared, and then he also grows his wings like an angel, totally opposite to one demon Hell has. The brightness brimming out of him amazes both Hell and her servant. Those bandits come running toward them. Hell tries to control herself and asks him to deal with them instead of showing off his wings. He turns toward them and defeats them using his angelic wings. She is mesmerized by his beauty and coolness, and when she is blushing and admiring him, he carries her in his arms again. He asks her like a Shujo prince if she is unharmed. She agrees with him at first and then controls herself. They come out of the castle with her servant following them. They reach their destination, Lakeside Fort. To remove the exhaustion, Hel in her hot bikini goes bathroom to run water on her heavenly body. While Hel is outside cleansing the fort, Hel asks her where Justy has gone and Hel believes he might be patrolling. Hel gets into the bathtub filled with bubbles and shows her disappointment that she can't believe that he behaved as if nothing happened. She imagines how he should have behaved earlier, totally ruined by despair. The scene shifts to her imagination. He learns he has become her slave and his flesh is of zombie. The valiant Justy he was once is now merely a memory. After listening to this, he loses his control due to the humiliation of being bound forever to a cursed demon princess. He begs her to kill him instead of living in such a shameful state. Hel heavily laughs at him that he is already a zombie and now he has to suffer again forever. She enjoys her imagination and finds herself cool, then recalls it is not what happened. She is down thinking if it's not what happened as she imagined, then it must be because she is still immature. Suddenly, she feels someone behind her, standing in the dark, so she takes him for Justy and asks him how he could be sneaking in bathe and how this can be a heroic act. That person takes out his dagger and walks toward her with a sinister smile. Hel is scared of him and asks him to maintain some distance. At this moment, Justy makes his heroic entry, breaking through the window, and uses his fist to land a strong hit on that person. With that, person is pushed back and is defeated. He asks for her forgiveness that he allowed a bandit to infiltrate the fortress. He takes off his robe and gives it to her while looking away. Then he kneels down before her saying if he is worthy of being called a Justy, then he must dedicate his devotion to overseeing his master's safety. She is standing still with her tail outright, and in that serious moment, he swears that he will always protect her until his body gets crushed into dust. She does not say anything but is blushed. He comes out of the room to make rounds in the fortress and smoke out any remaining bandits. Hel is unconscious outside. He checks her and runs ahead. Whereas Hel is flushed with what just suddenly happened and does not get what's wrong with him. Hel cries and apologizes to Hel that it could be her negligence that allowed the burglar to break in. However, Hel is left dazed after Justy's resolute declaration. She shrugs her thoughts by rolling on the bed restlessly and then stands. She talks with Hel that the time has come when they will commence their counterattack against humans tomorrow. As long as they have Justy with them, their might will surely be sufficient. They will start from the fort as their base and reclaim the lands humans have snatched from them. She will see her father's regret being washed away and will demonstrate the full and terrifying might of demons. Just when she has made a declaration of war against humans, a dragon invades their castle. He roars and spits fire around them. Hel tries to deal with him using a cleaning brush, but fails to do so. Justy makes his entry, grabs the dragon by its tail, and throws him out of the fort through the window. She goes from panic mode to exciting one after seeing him and even calls him Justy instead of a servant. She controls herself and asks him where he has been if he was not out there to defend the fort. He apologizes to her and explains that protecting her room from the hallway outside is rather difficult. Hel rudely yells at him that she does not want excuses but actions. If there is a problem, then he has to fix it. To protect her from any intruders, he guards her room by sitting close to her bed and continuously staring at her. She becomes rather uncomfortable and embarrassed with her heart racing fast. She thinks that if he is to guard the window, then it would be an immediate solution. She asks him to stop glaring at him. She will never get to sleep like that, so she allows him to rest as well. She gives a smirk and her tone turns to an evil one while giving the order to lay his head down and rest, right there on the floor. If he had imagined a lowly being such as him deserves a nice and fluffy bed. His place is right there beneath his master. The cold and hard floor will be sufficient for his bedding. She has a fully evil aura saying such accommodations are only fitting for such a mere slave. Instead of getting frightened by his master, he opens his shirt button, showing his shoujo boy's body, and lies on the floor like a majestic prince. His sparkling body makes Hel block her eyes from seeing him. She is overwhelmed by his brilliant shine. He thanks her for this because the only option his men and he had was to camp outdoors, so even being able to lay down with a roof over his head is more than he could ask for. Though it may only be to facilitate him as a bodyguard, he will readily accept her generosity. They both lie down with Hel on her bed and Justy on the floor. Hel is still flushing that Justy with his open shirt is just close to her bed. She says it would be better as she grants him his room to use, but then suddenly, a dragon breaks into the room through the window. He immediately gets up and blocks the dragon from moving, but the dragon and he are right above her when she is in her sleeping position. He refuses her and says that he should stay right here, and she also agrees with him subconsciously. It's morning when sleeping Hel is a sight for sore eyes. She opens her eyes and finds Justy working on the window. He greets her good morning and informs her that he has been fixing the window that dragon destroyed yesterday. She is amazed he's fixing it like that, and if there is a thing which he can't do. Soon, her stomach growls due to hunger. She embarrassingly asks him if he is particularly good at cooking. He seems down and accepts it with embarrassment that he does not have confidence in his cooking skills. Hel is desperate to look at his despairing face and says he is good at carpentry, but shies from cooking, so she is about to roast him to make her a delicious breakfast. Hel barges into the room bringing breakfast. He thanks her for breakfast. Hel brings her stubbornness and asks him to make her dinner, whose menu item will be her absolute favorite dish, grilled great salamander tail. He is surprised and ensures if she is talking about a great salamander that exceeds 30 meters in length. She agrees with him that there are some that make their home in the mountains behind this fort. When they used to have festivals, she would have a force 300 strong capable of subjugating these salamanders, but because of someone in this room, she has no country, no soldiers, and tails to eat. He kneels down before her and apologizes to her. She makes a hot pose to look menacing and says him not to delay but to bring her salamander if he feels sorry for his actions. Justy seems off for some reason. Even Hel speaks in his defense that it would be dangerous and he can't go alone for hunting. But Hel does not care about him and asks her not to worry as he is already dead. Even if he finds his arms and legs get eaten, he won't die. 1 hour later, Justy serves them a grilled dish that amazes them with their jaws dropping. He apologizes to keep them waiting and asks them to enjoy their meal. Hel is severely enraged that it takes 300 soldiers a full night to take down just one of these monsters, and he took down one single-handedly in just 1 hour. She comes close to the dish and finds the fragrance of herbs and spices astonishing. She is surprised how he goes to make cooking such appetizing and mouth-watering. She drools over the dish and looks at Justy, who is glaring at him with confidence. She wants to try its taste and takes a bite that leaves her amazed with her eyes open. She delves into its taste with her naked body like everyone does in Food Wars. She starts eating it while admiring its taste and how it is pure happiness on a plate. Justy asks her if this dish is satisfying to her palate, but she is an arrogant lady. She stands and disrespects his dish, saying it doesn't work at all. The ingredients are of fine quality, but the preparation was wholly inadequate. He apologizes to her and pulls over the dish, saying that he will hunt another salamander and prepare a more suitable meal at once. She gets shocked and begs him not to clear this dish. Justy does not want to serve something that does not meet her standards. Hel, however, is down bad to eat that dish and says her earlier assessment was a little too harsh. Justy starts laughing and considers her truly kind to try and spare his feelings. But he has sworn his allegiance to her, so he must redouble his efforts and prepare a perfect plate. Hel's eyes are in tears and tries to make him understand that it is not what she meant. Meanwhile, we see the king sitting in his crown chair and remnants of the Justy party kneeling after him. He was reported at first that Hero had perished in sealing the Demon King, but now he receives a report regarding Justy that he has defected and joined the Demon King's forces. Even he was the one who beat them in the castle back there. King is shocked and does not want to overlook this critical matter, so he decides to send an investigation team to look into this matter. A cutie pie priestess seems to be eavesdropping on it and gets excited that Justy is still but he has defected. She is worried, so she also plans to go and see about this as well. Hel and Justy are around a table with a map placed on it. Hel plans to mobilize her forces. Her father's vassals are scattered around the world, and she will need their cooperation if she wants to regain ground and Justy's power. Justy is looking over the map and making plans, but suddenly he becomes still in a crypt position. He starts shivering because a bug has made its way onto his back and it's tickling him. She worries at first but gasps that he is a foolish guy. Justy apologizes to her and informs her embarrassingly that he can't reach his hands at that spot. Hel turns into her evil demonic form due to her incredible idea. She brings out a bat out of nowhere and releases it into the back of the shirt. He becomes so uncomfortable and irritated, but she enjoys the scene. At long last, she has given him a pure torment to her father's archenemy, and now a cursed Justy is writhing in agony right at her feet. Justy is on the ground with his back upward. The bug and bat are causing high tickling that has caused his face to turn red. He turns to her and calls her name while being a red tomato prince. She also turns red and covers her face. She thinks about the situation that she is just tickling him and not seeing her father's vengeance at all. She grabs the spider from his back and is embarrassed a lot. Justy also rises and pulls a pen with a feather while walking towards her. He corners her by smashing his hand on the wall, and they look at each other as if they are a shoujo romantic couple. He considers what she did was a joke and wants to pay her back. He tickles her back a little with that feather pen, and she resists him. He comes close to her and continues to tickle, but this time, she becomes unable to resist and ends up submitting to her. And as always, she fails to triumph over him. They both are across the table. Hel is worried about how they should put together their counteroffensive. If only they had one of her father's vassals, then there would have been some solution. Just as she has said it, Hel comes with breaking news. She has received the words that one of her father's vassals, Amor, just recently arrived in the nearby town of Guilty. She has heard he leads the forces of the demon army against the kingdom army for many years. He is a blue Justy of the demons. Hell panics a little after something, but she does not want to concern about it. She becomes enthusiastic and is eager to get allies as soon as possible. She is even willing to go scout the town of Guilties, but Hell worryingly informs her that the road to Guilties is filled with horrors. The sky is thick with fog, so they can't fly there, and the path itself is crawling with poisonous plants and monsters. If they do not have access to the healing magic, breakthroughs will likely be impossible. Hell refuses her, saying they do not need to worry about it because they have an undying Justy. Justy is horrified to hear about poisonous plants. It's another plan of Hell. Poison is the natural enemy of humans, and he will suffer in agony until death takes him, but she has cursed him immortality. His suffering will continue without end as he acts as her vanguard. She again is surrounded by evil thoughts and aura. She is going to give her father a show that he will never forget. They walk down the path to Guilties. Poisonous plants come in their way, which Justy takes down easily with his kicks and shots. She appreciates him and does not let him take a break, saying there are still monsters ahead in their path, so there would not be a time to recover. Our prince, with a glittering smile, asks her to leave it to him, which also melts her heart. He goes ahead into the deadly path. Hell wonders and asks Hell how anyone can be this brave to face the poisonous hellscape. He moves ahead and defeats the monsters easily, paving a smooth way for his lady. He is not even scathed yet, has silky, glossy, shiny skin, which makes them envious of him. Suddenly, a deadly monster plant appears for attack. Hell informs them that it's one of the dangerous monsters of the forest, a poison lily. It releases a poisonous gas that is lethal and kills anyone instantly. When it is about to release gas, Justy appears before the girls and takes the gas attack on himself. He withstands the attack, and in return, he lands a direct, strong hit on those plants. With this, those plants get blasted, including Justy, without leaving any trace. Hell cannot see Justy around her and starts to cry that he was supposed to be immortal and she had not done anything yet for him. Out of nowhere, Justy comes out from her underneath and carries her into his arms. He excitedly tells her that he felt incredible strength in that poisonous gas and he was able to defeat that monster in one blow, even though he does not grasp the reason. Hell understands the situation, that he is undead. Poisonous does not kill him but becomes a source of his restoring strength. Meanwhile, the fog also is cleared from the sky. He grows his wings and flies into the sky. Hell is grasping his collar and her heart is throbbing while looking at his sprinkling face. She feels her heart throbbing for him and tries to get herself together. They arrive in the town of Guilty. Hell excitedly plans to find Captain Amora, but her stomach growls. Hell then decides a meal in order is first, which makes Hell embarrassed. Hell intends to try Guilty's specialty while they are here. It somehow intrigues Justy, and he also desires to participate in this. Hell looks at him with her evil eyes and hysterically laughs that he is the poor summer child who does not know the soup's notorious spicy nature. The specialty of town is red-hot Guilty soup. Justy takes a bite and makes faces because it's too spicy for him. Hell looks at him with menacing eyes and enjoys his suffering. The only worth he has now is to entertain her with his sweet sufferings, but that soup is demon soup. She has heard that humans are so overwhelmed by the heat that they will faint dead away. A hot demon lady in a bikini with her abs shows up and finds it an interesting sight to see a human male there. In pain, Justy looks back at her, but seeing how he is sparkling, she falls for him. She gets on him, asking if he would be available after this. Hell interrupts her and informs her that he is her male servant and she has to hold herself. That lady finds her cute and argues with her to hand over him to her. She even wagers him on an eating contest with super spicy soup. Hell is hesitant at first and asks her to get out of her sight, but that lady is confident that she will take him with her. Hell is furious over her that the future demon king will not lose a charlatan harlot like her, and this will be Hell's prime opportunity to demonstrate her unyielding authority to Justy. The contest begins between girls. Hell takes just the first bite and vomits back because it's too spicy and is not like the one she had. That lady gets on her nerves by asking if she is done with her first bite. It looks like she does not care about her poor male servant. In anger, Hell starts to take large bites and asks her fellows not to stop her as it's a fight for her pride. She begins to feel the heat and strips herself due to the hotness, showing her white milky body with sweat rolling over it. She is even frustrated and does not want anyone to stop her at all as she has to attain victory, even though he is something she would hand over to anyone. Justy is trying to block his eyes but fails to do so as he is male after all. He supports her from back when she finally passes out. After observing Hell's dedication, he gets into a contest with that lady. She asks him if he would be able to handle this heat. After all, he is a human. And if he fails, then he will become her male servant. He agrees with her conditions and the contest begins. Hell is losing her conscience and is worried about him because he is not good with spicy foods. The next moment, she opens her eyes and asks Hell where she is. Hel is currently fanning Justy, lying on the floor. She informs her about what happened, as it was truly an incredible and splendid victory. When he took over, he was like a possessed man and ate dozens of bowls. Hel comes to him and cries before him that even though he is her servant, he never stops saving her. She feels a pain in her chest, but she shrugs her thoughts not to think about it. That lady barges into their room saying she had to give in and she totally lost. She has to say he is pretty good for a man. Hel is curious to ask what she is doing here. That lady asks her in return that's why she has come to ask why the daughter of the Demon King and hero are pawing each other and just why they have come here. Hel is shocked to listen to those words coming out of that lady. Hel is suspicious of her and ensures her identity, asking if she is General Amora. She agrees with Hel that she is Amora guilty, and these days she just loiters around this town, just a regular competitive eater. She changes her tone to ask Justy if he is not the Justy who sealed the Demon King. Why the Demon Princess and Justy would team up together. Hel with her evil eyes stands close to Justy and explains to Amora that it was she who dragged him out from the underworld using the art of necromancy, and now he has sworn an oath of undying loyalty to her. He is accompanying her so her father's enemy will never be free from the pain, anguish, and humiliation she will befall on him. Amora finds it somehow odd because he stepped in of his own accord to help her and why he would do that if she is humiliating him. Hel is terrified that Amora has caught her lie. Amora corners her and intends to have a little test run. Hel has to go ahead and give him humiliation. Hel goes to Justy and is dedicated to showing Amora crystal proof of her words that the man sitting there is nothing but her slave. However, she is confused about what she should do now, and even if it's possible for him to experience humiliation. Amora comes up with an absurd but ridiculous idea of asking him to dance naked. Hel is embarrassed at first but agrees with her as it is considered a humiliation. Justy is not bothered by this request. While he has already sworn his allegiance to Hel, he has not as of yet consecrated that oath with his brave dance of dedication. Hel understands what he means by it and tells others that it's a dance whilst undressed to prove he has no ulterior motives. Amora and Hel both are turning red with their hearts racing hard. He strips his clothes with a pose showing his bright body. His brimming light even passes through the roof of the house that outsiders can easily see with their naked eyes and wonder about the pillar of light coming out. An old man has heard about a legend that when a person strips of clothing, a pillar of light appears. This legend is about the creation of the immortal soldier who will bring the world into darkness once more. It means the immortal soldier is in a guilty's inn. The girls inside the inn are all amazed to see the dazzling beauty of Justy, who is performing his brave dance, a pole dance on that beam of light. Amora is having a nosebleed like Sanji of One Piece, and she even touches his body. Hel tries to hold Amora back as the whole point of this exercise was to watch Justy writhe in humiliation. She even asks Justy to stop his dance, but he looks at her and winks, which melts her heart. She snaps out of her, admiring him, and tries to stop his absurd movements. They all end up on Amora's estate where Hel explains all about her situation. She is trying to put together a counteroffensive towards humans and intends to revive her father and restore the Demon Kingdom. To that end, she would appreciate Amora's alliance she could give her in strategy. Amora agrees to help her, but before making any strategy, Hel has to gather her manpower. She explains with example that she has a subordinate who's good at healing magic. She is Chef Siren, Akoya, on an island south of this town. Amora is positive that Akoya would be a real asset to her cause. Hel imagines Akoya as a blue mermaid with long hair and readily accepts Amora's offer. Luckily, Amora has a business that way, so she plans to get equipment and other stuff from the town, together with Justy, and asks Hel to stay back to watch the house. This town is lousy with real lowdown thugs, and she would stand out, so it would be wise to keep her profile low. Unexpectedly, Hel accepts to stay behind and Justy asks her to leave everything to her. Amora gives a smug look and the scene turns out she holds his arm while walking through town. She is grinning and humming while squeezing herself onto his arm. He surprisingly asks her if she is in high spirits, and she in turn inquires him if he is not enjoying time with her. He agrees he is enjoying his time with her. Hel and Hel are stalking them. Hel has such a devilish look with a gloomy atmosphere. She knew Amora just wanted her out of the way so she could be with her servant. Hel turns more menacing when she sees them getting into the shop of swimwear clothing. If the equipment Amora mentioned is swimwear and planning a fun little two-person ocean getaway. Justy chooses a swimsuit for Amora that matches perfectly to the specifications she mentioned to him. She tries it on and is shocked because there is almost no fabric. Justy has no negative thoughts but considers swimsuits as a source to provide effectively zero defense, so he believes it best to lean into their light and speedy nature. Amora checks other swimsuits and Hel has been observing them from afar. Amora talks with Justy that they haven't known each other for so long, but already feels that he totally gets him. They are standing very close to each other. Justy says he could not do it without her and has to say more. Hell barges into the store furiously. The next moment, she ends up wearing swimwear, the same one that Amora was wearing. Amora appreciates that this suits her perfectly. Justy gives credit to Amora that he was able to match it to her because she became a model for him. Hell surprisingly asks Justy if he also chose it for her. Amora replies that they are heading out to sea, so they all need swimsuits, and teasingly asks her if she was anxious that something was going to happen. Hell checks her swimsuit over the area of her boobs and curiously asks them how this swimsuit fits her dimensions perfectly and how they come to know her measurements. Justy tells her with a smile that he could not do it without her as he is always keeping an eye on her. Hell is horrified and considers him disgusting. He shows her a present he just bought for her. He remains ever in debt to her, so he wanted to express his gratitude even if it is small. He makes a bow on her one horn, due to which she turns red. As usual, Amora pokes fun asking if Hell is feeling love-struck and what a nice gift her favorite servant has given to her. It's the beach episode everyone waits for. Hell runs toward the beach and Hell tries to stop her, but they both enjoy coming there, splashing water on each other. Justy and Amora bring a boat with the necessary equipment. They all dive into the blue sea where different fishes roam around sea plants. Hell's ribbon is loosened free and struck to the fish that carries it ahead. Hell is worried and runs after it, but Justy retrieves the ribbon and fixes on the horn again. Seeing his cute smile, she becomes flushed again, then she comes to her senses. She says with her mouth open why they are messing around, as though they are enjoying their vacations. But water rushes inside her through her mouth, and she pulls back to the ground unconsciously. They rescue her and bring on land. She again says the reason they are here is to meet with Siren Okoye. Amora is confused that she has been looking for her but can't find her. Okoye once said she was coming back to the island to finally become a normie. When they are talking about this, Justy roams around behind and stumbles on the plants where an old fish-like creature is hanging down. Hell and Hell are terrified to see it, shouting it's a monster, but Amora recognizes her as Okoye. Justy considers it so cruel to hang her, so he helps her in coming down. He carries her into his arms and worryingly asks her what happened to her, but he is shining like a star under the sunlight. Her heart starts beating fast and falls for him. She tells him that she had wanted some cute guy to chat with her, so she spent several months on the beach. She had become crisp through by the time anyone noticed her, and when someone did, it was a fisherman who took her for sun-dried seafood. But she is fine now as finally meeting a handsome guy, even as his meal is enough for her. Justy says in a poetic manner that her eyes hold such sorrow, but it is a relief to finally find her. He has been looking for her and has come to this island in the first place with the hopes of being able to meet her. He asks her if it pleases her, may he ask for her hands. The demon kingdom needs as many helping hands, but Okoye misinterprets him. She hurriedly embraces him when he asks for her hands and says she has finally got hands on Mega Hottie. Hell hurriedly comes and shoves them apart. Okoye furiously asks her why she is getting between them, but then recognizes she is Lady Hell. Hell shouts at Justy that he will give people the wrong idea if he asks for assistance this way. Okoye comes in her menacing mode and considers him Hell's man. She gets the wrong idea again, that if he is on the line, then revolution is in order. Okoye is emerging a menacing aura. Hell holds her on and informs her that he is her male servant and is not her man, as Okoye said. Amora also interrupts that he is not trying to be friendly with her. Even Hell explains that the reason they had wanted to find Okoye was to ask for her assistance in retaking the Demon Kingdom's territory. With that, Okoye starts sulking and turns gloomy. Justy cheers her up by apologizing to her first that it appears he has troubled her with his inadequate explanation. But they require her aid. If she needs anything from him, she has to simply tell him, and he will do what he can. Hell has no hope that it's not time to ask for assistance, given how he has missiled her. But unexpectedly, Okoye agrees to help them after being impressed by Justy and says if they ask her like this, a personal request from the Demon King's daughter, then naturally she will accept it. Hell is so pleased and excited that they have healing magic in their hands now, but turns out, Okoye is not able to use healing magic. She explains that her hardships have drained her completely down to the last drop of her magic. There are ways to recover magic. One of the quickest ways is to submerge herself in Mana Mountain, and the nearest one is inside of a cave located alongside a coast. However, the way there is quite precarious and filled with monsters. They make their way to the entrance of the island's coastline temple. They come inside and move on the path. It was originally holy siren ground, so it's very difficult for people with legs to traverse. Everyone except is walking, and Okoye is swimming. As the way is hard, Justy grabs Hell's hand, which also stirs her feelings. An octopus appears in the water and strangles Okoye with its large tentacles. Justy goes to rescue her, but at the back, the octopus strangles Hell and takes her into the cave deep inside. We see Hell getting deep into the water and thinking about her past with Justy. She dragged Justy's soul from the pits of Hades and made him her servant, so as to pay him back in full for the sufferings he inflicted on her father in sealing him away. Yet he is always swaying her heart and conviction. She needs to take pride in who she is, the demon princess. Suddenly, she comes into consciousness and sees Justy right after her in a pose kissing her lips. She asks him what he is doing, and he replies that he was doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. She further inquires if he made contact with her, and he tells her that he was about to begin. She gets flushed and her brain turns off, wondering if he was going to kiss her. She again faints back and Justy plans to give resuscitation again. Meanwhile, the priestess attacks the lakeside fort in a very menacing way. She threatens that the last remnants of demons must have seduced the Justy, so they have to quietly release him, otherwise she will purify each of them with her God-given authority. It's the time of hot bath. All the girls in their swimsuits are in the bath, and they all feel refreshed except Hell. Hell talks with Hell that they will be soaked at this rate, as they were on the beach at first and are now in a water bath. Hell does not seem as excited as others and looks at Justy, who gives her a smile. She blushes and dives into the water. Hell and the others come back on the boat, and on the way, Hell is still down thinking about what's wrong with her. She keeps finding herself out of all sorts. Suddenly, Hell alerts her about the fort that is burnt to pieces. She is shocked at what happened to fort whilst they were away. They see that priestess standing outside the fort with her weapons. Justy immediately recognizes her and flies towards her. He grabs her arms, carrying a weapon, and here her name is introduced as Priestess Glorious White. She hugs him with tears in her eyes because she can't believe he is still alive. Hell also flies there and surprisingly asks Justy who this woman is. Glorious attacks her with a weapon that she dodges. Justy restrains her from attacking. Although Hell is a demon right now, she is his master and someone precious to him. Glorious pushes him back and says he has lost his senses and is being manipulated by Hell.
Hey!
Justy shouts at her to think what she wants, but he has sworn his allegiance to Hell and has sworn to guard with his life. He is protecting Hell while she is hiding behind him. She is amazed by his words, like she is precious to him and he will protect her with his life. Glorious finally understands what he means, and she is already too late. She is sad but is resigned to doing what she must. Yesterday's allies are today's bitter enemies. Justy swears again that he will protect Hell. He will repeat saying it as many times as it takes. She saved his soul, she is his salvation, she is his hope, and has to say more. Hell gets embarrassed and stands ahead of him that she does not need his pitiful protection. She looks at Glorious and freezes to see a powerful aura around her. She regrets that she let herself get carried away. Glorious seems no less than a monster, and if she fights then she will be obliterated. Glorious walks ahead, and the surprising words come out of the mouth that Hell is so cute. But she then gets embarrassed by her words. Amora ensures it from Hell if she heard right that Glorious called Hell cute. Glorious listens to this and throws her spiky weapon to attack them. She considers it a trick and does not want to lose her conviction as she is standing after a detestable demon. She looks at Hell again and her heart throbs from chest pain. Amora is getting confident about what she heard and says it loudly. Glorious is about to hit her again, but Justy stops her and makes her understand the current situation. It's true Hell is the demon, a demon princess, but she was the one who called him back to this world and gave him a second chance. God's blessing extends to those who are held dear. It is one of the teachings of her church. So he must take the path he believes in, even if it turns her into her enemy. He has sworn loyalty to her and is committed to dedicating his body and soul to her entirely. Hell is bashful and argues with Justy if he is doing it purposely, giving wrong ideas to others. Justy is a dumbass and asks her dumb question in return if he is somehow giving the wrong impression that he is not fully and eternally devoted to her. Glorious loses her conviction and says it's enough for today and walks opposite side. Justy is sure Glorious' assault has come to an end and Hell is also relieved. He looks at her with his shining personality that makes her recall whatever he was saying about protecting her. She turns red and cutely gets embarrassed. Out of nowhere, Glorious embraces her and says she can hardly stand the bashful look on Hell's face. She is prepared to attend Hell too because she likes cute things. They move toward the fortress that is completely destroyed. Hell is worried that it was her only fortress. Glorious says demons are her natural enemies, so demolishing their hideout is her duty, but her heart melts when she sees Hell with tears in her eyes. She hugs Hell that she looks very cute while crying and apologizes to her for doing this. Akoya is also there. Amora is relieved that they have got a handful of allies, so if they should start their march. Glorious forbids them and advises them to find a place to hide. She had accompanied the survey corps on her way here, so they were assuredly en route to this location. Hell is shocked to listen to this because she has heard horrendous stories about the survey corps. They are the ones who exterminate every living soul in the demon villages. Even humans fear their inclinations. Justy also agrees and continues that some of them even can best him. All the girls are horrified to listen to this because if Justy can't stand, then they all will be killed. Glorious shares her opinion that the corpse would be perfectly right to subjugate everyone, including her, as she has sworn allegiance to her, so she recommends them to hide even for once. Hell knows a location if they want to hide. She takes them to the Demon Royal Valley. She heard about this place a long time ago from her father. She does not know the details, but it's some sort of royal sanctuary for the Demon Royal family. Akoya is excited because she has never been to the dungeon and hopes to find some fine men adventurers there. They look at her and surprisingly inquire that she is standing on her legs now. She makes a hot pose and tells them that Mana Spring has maximized her energy so she can magic up some legs now. Justy comes to her and is relieved that she can come to land without any issue. She holds his arm and goes near the entrance that she will go anywhere with him. She thinks it is a smart move to move in pairs as it's dark inside. But as they get close to the door, a hand in white energy comes out of the dungeon and grabs Akoya to drag her inside. She makes some awful moaning noises. Justy and others decide to go in and help Akoya, but Hell is not energetic and greets them with good luck. Amora holds her hand to pull forward and asks what's wrong with her if she does not plan to rescue Akoya. Hell did not mean it, but she is scared. Everyone saw it was a ghost. She is shivering due to fear. Amora gasps that Hell is master of necromancy, but still she is scared. Hell proudly explains that it is natural for a demon princess to use the art of necromancy, and Justy is the prime example of her art. Amora considers spirits equal to ghosts, but Hell clarifies that spirits and ghosts are nothing alike. Hell adds her point that Hell has always been terrified of ghosts to the point that her personality shifts dramatically. Amora is still confused about how spirits and ghosts are different. Justy speaks in Hell's defense that she is a necromancer and is afraid of ghosts, which means these things must be different, which is self-evident. Hell is glad that he truly understands her. Her cuteness attracts Glorious again, but Hell immediately looks at her, prior to Glorious doing something. Glorious shares her opinion that this place appears to be a demon mausoleum, and she senses powerful beings inside. She believes these are spirits rather than ghosts. She is a priest, and this is her specialty to know the difference. Hell cutely asks her with puppy eyes if she can believe her. Glorious hugs again passionately and says that originally they should have been enemies, but Hell is special, and she can completely trust Glorious. Hell enters the cave holding Glorious, and some cute small ghosts appear first. Glorious deals with them easily using her holy light weapon, and the ghostlings disappear. Glorious says that was quite frightening. It seems they were ghosts rather than spirits. Hell is sulking and shivering due to fear and calls Glorious a liar. This cuteness is so electrifying to Glorious that she falls to the ground. Justy looks after Hell and the other girls move ahead, forgetting to help Akoya. They go deep into the dungeon where they can hear ghosts goofing around. Hell is walking with Justy's support. She has low energy and does not get why there are ghosts in this place. Justy grips her hands and asks her not to worry. His loyal servant will protect her without fail. He is sparkling like a superhero. She seems pleased while blushing, but seeing Amora and Hell shipping them, she pushes away from Justy. She becomes serious that she is the demon princess and she will overcome the pathetic ghost. But she throws herself on Justy again when she listens to ghosts. It's Akoya talking with someone and getting surprised to see many men. Justy assumes that these men could be Survey Corps. Glorious is positive that it can be Survey Corps, and they are likely to sniff out the dungeon of this caliber immediately. It triggers Hell's anger because she takes belittling this dungeon as disrespect toward her lineage-honored sanctuary. Glorious is so mesmerized by her angry personality that the way Hell puffs herself up to try hard to be intimidating is so cute. Hell is flushed in a cute way. Amora jumps on the male sculptures and checks their bodies. She drools over them and plans to make them her subordinates. First, she was pissing Hell off, but then it makes her shocked because Amora does not seem to be in her senses. Several mini ghosts surround her. She is terrified, but does not want to cower in fear. After all, she is the demon princess and the leader of the Demon Kingdom restoration effort. She prepares her arms to fight. She cannot be under Justy's protection all the time, otherwise Kingdom's restoration is a naive dream if she can't take down near ghosts. She makes a pose, but a ghost appears after her, and in the next moment, she ends up in a dark place alone. She is alone in this place and is shivering due to fear because it's those ghosts doing. She misses Justy and says him to save her. Out of nowhere, he appears in the air and defeats those ghosts using his skill. He runs towards her and she hugs him passionately. She considers herself pathetic. For all of her talk of restoring the Demon Kingdom, she is wholly incompetent. He calms her down that she has to rely on him as she needs to. His body has always been an extension of her will, and he has resolved to stay by her side for as long as he draws her breath. She is embarrassed and asks him not to say such a thing outright. The other girls are standing behind them. Amora teases her that they have heard the whole conversation as they have been here a bit ago. They saw all that illusion trickery ghosts had cast on her, and it went away when Justy had obliterated those ghosts. These girls are grinning that they have watched the entire series of events, and especially the last exercise was a sight to behold. Hel becomes red and flustered that she starts running alone. Meanwhile, Akoya is clinging to sculptures and is getting her fill of personal harem. They enter a hall that is clean and sparkling with elegant furniture. Hel informs that it's the entertainment area and it's where demon royalty would demonstrate their hospitality by providing meals and such. Hel comes up with the idea and imagines providing a meal to all of them as a token of gratitude. After this, she asks them to go ahead and relax. Meanwhile, she will be preparing a proper feat as a demon princess. Hel is pleased and asks her lady if she can cook. Hel drags her into the kitchen for an emergency meeting. In a panic, she asks Hel to give her a simple and delicious recipe she can use at once. The whole point is for her to cook and her authority is at stake. She must use this chance to remove the stigma that her unsightly reaction to the ghost has branded on her. Hel understands her reason and takes responsibility. Hel proudly presents her handmade curry to all worms. Hel has shown her this recipe because curry is effectively impossible to mess up with. Even a cooking novice like Hel should not have trouble with it. Amora takes a bite and makes faces due to its horrible taste and looks at Akoya, who has a dried-up face like she had last time. Hel is shocked at what's going on. She merely taught Hel a perfectly normal curry recipe, but then sees Hel's behavior. Hel is frighteningly confused and is losing her stand. She is regretting to reply on Hel's recipe. She apologizes to all, and they don't need to finish their plates. She listens to Justy admiring the dish that it's delicious and the best curry he had. He asks for a second servings. Hel does not want him to force eat, but he is genuinely grateful to have it. She serves him another plate and is so charmed by him. He finishes his plate and comes out of the room with the excuse that he is full and is feeling drowsy. He staggers toward the outdoors. She feels first sorry for him that he is going out of his way for her, but then she recalls her vengeance. Visit him suffering has been her true goal from the beginning, and now she has taken vengeance for what he did. Justy's image appears before her, due to which she turns cutely gloomy and sulking. Hel's curry has knocked him out cold due to food poisoning. Glorious does her treatment, but he still has a fever. Akoya suggests if the curative spell is not effective, then maybe a medicinal herb, hot spring grass, is an effective cure for food poisoning. Hel knows the location where it could be found. She believes it had been cultivated deep underground for use by demon royalty. Hel asks them to leave it to her to gather herbs. Those girls look at her with suspicious eyes. She gets confused and says that a leader has to take care of her subordinates, and it was her fault. It brings sparkles to Justy's eyes that she would go that far for his sake. Her heart throbs and she runs to get herbs. Hel and Hel, with towels around their bodies, reach the floor 12 of the sanctuary. There is a healing spring, and that herb is kept in a cage beside it. There are instructions on a board that says one has to sit on the button in the pool for continuous 10 seconds. Hel just pops her leg into spring, but she pulls back her leg in a very hot way because the water is burning hot. Hel alerts her that the instructions say the water is 50 degrees Celsius. Hel understands it's a test of endurance, so she brims with energy that she should not have trouble conquering this trial. She again puts her leg in water but pulls back because it's not just hot but painful. She turns gloomy, thinking what she should do. Other girls also come there in their bikinis and want her to let them handle such things as she is a delicate person. But it triggers her passion and she jumps into the water wholly. She sits on the button and asks them not to get in her way as it's her fight. If such trifling matter is beyond her abilities, then unifying demonkind as the next in line for the throne will forever remain out of her reach. Finally, the cage is opened, freeing a delicate flower. She comes toward it and seems pleased but passes out due to pain. Later, she opens her eyes in bed and sees Justy sitting beside her. He was told she did everything in her power to fetch the hot spring plant purely for his sake. He thanks her while placing a soaked towel over her head. She is flushing and then wonders if she is the one being treated after all this. Hel and Glorious observe the scenarios at the lakeside fort using her crystal ball. The survey corps have already reached there and searching for them. Glorious does not find it right to go out of hiding anytime soon, but Hel is worried because her fellows have become more comfortable here, so they have been becoming useless. Amora is busy drinking like Zoro of One Piece, and Akoya has been reading adult men's stuff. When she is thinking what she should do, Hel informs her about the sudden appearance of some knight. He is a dark knight and can't believe it, it's Hel. He carries her like a baby and says he had sensed a disturbance within the Demon Royal Sanctuary, so he came as soon as he could, but it turns out to be her. Justy is curious about who this knight is and learns from Hel that he is a dark knight who once served the demon royal family as well as Hell's caretaker for much of her youth. The title of knight is bestowed only to the best of the demon army, and he takes pride in that title. Dark Knight sees Hero and is shocked to see him here, asking what he is doing here. He guards Hell that he would use his power to torment onto King's sworn enemy. Hell panics for a while but then comes into her evil mode. She summoned him back to life just to torment him, so this development is quite favorable. Dark Knight hits him with different strikes, but each time he dodges them. Hell hysterically laughs that the Knight's power is incredible that Justy is struggling against him. Knight manages to hit Justy and makes him injured. Hell is frustrated over Justy why he is not fighting back and is dancing around Knight. She is contradicting her own thoughts. Knight activates his skill and creates a dark energy hurricane. Glorious is astounded to see this condensed energy and asks everyone to lower down. Knight throws this hurricane at Justy and renders him injured. Knight laughs at Justy that he is not but cowardly knave. Hell comes running towards him and asks why he is not fighting back. But Justy is a nice guy. He has been not fighting with the Knight because he heard the Knight was of some importance to Hell, so he cannot fight, and he could not bear to bring sorrow to her. Knight is grinning and proudly says he did not think that a cursed Justy would be this weakling. He finds himself disappointed, so he intends to finish Justy for once and all. The situation turns somehow funny. Hell looks at the Knight and while crying asks him how dare he to hurt her hero. Knight is surprised at what's going on. She orders Justy to defeat the Knight with a special move for her. Justy uses his special move and defeats Knight in one strike. She proudly says to the Knight that her hero is quite strong as they say. She turns to Justy and they both smile like a shoujo couple. Glories and Akoya both are tending to Dark Knight, and it seems he is on the death door even though Justy pulled back just enough. Hell has been eavesdropping on them and regrets letting her temper get the better of her and ordering Justy to use his power. She is gloomy and sulking, but she tries to cheer herself that even as foul as her Knight's mouth is, she should not let these things bother her. However, she must be sure to truly apologize to him. Hell pops up and advises that honesty is the best policy here. Hell knows about it, but she does not know where she should begin with. She takes her to a bar and shows a potion that says honesty that is the Demon King's secret potion. Whoever drinks it will not be able to speak anything but what they honestly feel. Hell drinks that honest potion. Justy comes with news that he found the up-to-date map of this dungeon. Hell appreciates him that he never fails to disappoint her and no one can ever match him. Honestly, she did not know what to make of him at first. She was so nervous and he was being straight and forward. She shuts her mouth in embarrassment. However, it moves Justy's heart. Ever since they first met, he has been longing for her to grace him with such appreciation. She blushes and considers it the work of a potion. Hell is so pleased to see her master being this cute. Hell wants her to tell how to revert its effect, but before she gets an answer, Justy plans to return to the task of investigating the innermost areas. She stops him that she is lonely without him and is about to say more such stuff. She holds herself. Amora has been listening to all this and goes to announce that Hell is bold somehow today. Justy sparkles and says his heart has always been with her. Other girls also come and look at her with such grinning looks. Hell is embarrassed and shouts at them to disperse at once, but in fear of speaking unwanted things, she just shouts at them. Suddenly, their alarm starts ringing indicating someone has approached the entrance of the kingdom's survey corps. Glories uses her magic crystal ball and sees there are survey corpsmen. They all come in panic. Justy commands others to leave while he holds them down and buys time for girls. Glory says the corpse must know the ways of purifying zombies, and if they learn he is a zombie, he will be obliterated in a minute. Justy is dedicated and prepared for that outcome. He will give life if it means to protect Hell. She starts crying and stops him from going ahead. She goes on saying she just has not summoned him to throw his life. She won't let him escape the retribution for his sins. She has stored and more than that. She does not want to lose him. If anyone is here to erase, then it's her. And when she is going to finally confess, the ground starts crumbling. It's a guardian golem that appears right in front of the corpse. They have always wanted to crush a golem, so they expand their investigation and make their priority to annihilate the golem. Glories and the girls observe outside through a crystal ball. Glories assumes that the arrival of the corpse has activated one of the hidden traps of the dungeon. Suddenly, Glories stops explaining and turns red to see something. Other girls turn to Hell and see that she has been hugging Justy and squeezing while crying. They all start teasing her. She tries to explain it because of potion, but no one listens. She really dropped her pretenses and spoke with honesty, but the reason she drank the potion, to be honest with the Dark Knight, remains unfulfilled as he is left cold back. Dark Knight comes to his senses and Hell apologizes to him sincerely. Knight blames it on himself that he has always considered himself the most powerful in the demon army, so he became arrogant. He returns to his place where he will train and rectify this. Hell tries to stop him, but he still goes out. Justy considers that the Knight has been long gone. She turns to him to insult him that he seems lazy right now. If the number of forces has decreased, that means he has to work harder. She comes back to her usual self because the potion's effect has been worn out and asks him to fight for her until he has been reduced to mere matters. Glores notifies them that the corpse has defeated Golem and is now advancing further. They are in terror that it has just bought them some time and they have to get out of here. Justy plans to halt their movement, but Hell orders him not to throw his life. Glores gets ready to face the survey corps. It's possible they will simply treat her as a missing person and not a deserter. Ideally, she will be able to miss Lee from here. Justy does not consider it the right option because Survey Corps' investigation is highly unmatched and they would have already known the truth of her disappearance. Moreover, she is a priestess and the punishment that waits for her is execution. He inquires her the reason for going this far. She tells him that she is just like him, she has grown to love Hell as him. But she is the priestess of the kingdom's army, and being with Hell will forever be out of her reach. The time is close to the end, and this is much she can do for Hell. When she is about to go, Hell stops her that it's too late for her to leave as she belongs to the demon army now. She can't act on her own accord without Hell's permission and is going to obey her command. Hell cries and says Glores can't leave and die getting executed. Glores, who is just gloomy, starts making puppy eyes and finds Hell so cute to hug her. She brims with some energy and heads off. The next moment, we see she has been turned into a maniac and defeating the survey corps without any damage to her. Hell appears there and asks her why she has been beating them so cheerfully. She is the priestess and she should be aiming for less harm. She should ask them to walk away. Those survey corps have had enough of this and decide to retreat. They return to the kingdom and report to the king that just as hero, the priestess has been brainwashed. King has received the reports that the demon king's daughter has taken control of his forces and it means she has powerful brainwashing techniques. He considers dispatching a specific regiment as the only option. Hell and others successfully lead the sanctuary on a carriage without anyone following them. Glorious is very pleased and cuddles Hell that even without the effect of the potion, she was desperate to stop her. This means she must be important to Hell. On the other hand, Hell is dying from embarrassment. They stop at some point in their path because there is a boulder obstructing them. They all come out of the carriage to observe the situation except Hell. She looks at a pup sitting outside. They come to inform her about the situation and see that pup. As usual, Hell being a Wikipedia informs them about the pup that he is Cerberus. These dogs are the guardians of the gates of Hell. It's small in size, but when grown they reach 3 meters tall. Even as demon, Cerberus is on the list of dangerous animals for them to watch for. Hell headpats him that he is some fearsome creature, and he also smiles back in warmth that she likes. Hell understands her emotions and abruptly denies her that she knows Hell would ask to bring this pup along with them. Hell causally denies that she won't ask for it. Glores also shares her opinion that it's a critical juncture for the rebuilding of the demon kingdom and a dog would simply make things harder for them. Hell is also super cautious that it may be just a pup, but Hell does not have to take dangerous animals lightly. Hell acts so proudly and asks if they think she is the type to frolic with puppies. She is next to the throne, so such frolics are impossible for her, but while talking, she looks at the puppy. He seems so cute with his puppy eyes that melt her heart. Suddenly, Justy pats his head and decides to take him with them. They are all surprised if it's right to take dangerous animals with them. But he finds usefulness in the puppy being dangerous. If this puppy is given proper training, he can be used for an attack on the kingdom. These are watchdogs, and if they are tamed, they are highly obedient. He ensures it from Hell. She agrees with him and leaves the responsibility to summarize it to Justy. She warmly takes the pup into her arms. Justy removes the boulder from the way by throwing it away from the hill. He raises and rubs on the pup's head that they will raise this tiny creature. They both seem to be a cute couple with a baby in Hell's arms. They come back in the carriage and all are worried if it's right to take the pup with them, but the pup makes cute faces that warm everyone and they forget it for now. King summons a magician and fills her with details that reportedly Justy has fallen under the demon princess's control, and it seems the same happened to Priestess Glores. Princess must have unparalleled brainwashing techniques. So as the most powerful magician, he assumes she would be able to withstand Hell's sorcery. She smiles and asks him to rest assured as the greatest magician of the kingdom. Happiness will investigate this matter. She comes out of the room in a very flashy way. She sings a mundane witch who grins thinking what kind of magic the demon princess has to brainwash others. She is excited to learn the new magic and is eager to reach the princess. She imagines Hell as some wicked but somehow super hot demon princess. Justy is riding the carriage and stops it suddenly, creating a rampage inside. It's Happiness who has appeared quickly right in front. She greets Justy that it has been a while and he seems to be having fun with the demon princess. Glores looks out from the window and cannot believe Happiness was sent after them. Hell asks Justy if she is really that dangerous, and Justy tells her that Happiness performs all manners of clandestine magical experiments. There are rumors of the inhumane lengths she goes to in pursuit of knowledge, and her total disregard for human life has earned the title of Mad Magician as a mad scientist. Hell seems pleased to consider the fact she is already an ally, but Justy refuses that she is their enemy. Happiness states her business that she has one purpose for coming here, and that is to meet the demon princess. Justy refuses her, asking what if they decline her. She finds brainwashing magic incredible because she is standing before her, yet he remains loyal to the princess. She makes creepy faces with an evil aura that she is eager to meet the princess. Hell hopelessly comes out carriage and shows herself to Happiness. It's a critical step, but she has to somehow scout Happiness. Happiness seems disappointed and considering her a double body. She demands to bring out the real one. She is too small and cute and cannot match up with the biggest, baddest boss of demons, Demon Princess. Justy assures her that the cute madam is a demon princess. Glorious also speaks and says the cute lady here is a demon princess. Happiness is left speechless on receiving witnesses. She turns so disappointed and points to Hell that this insanely cute little thing is supposed to be a demon princess who commands terrible brainwashing magic. Hell is flushed red and cutely says she is not getting from where Happiness is bringing this brainwashing stuff. Happiness throws a tantrum that it was not what she was told. She came in person to see that damn big and baddest demon princess. In addition, she looks at Hell's big jiggling boobs and compares them to her own boobs, which makes her more insane. She madly brings a ruckus and activates her magic skill, Time Wrap. With this, she exchanges the time of Justy according to Hell. After a blast, Hell finds her body as of adult, a typical hot lady, and Justy has turned into a cute little boy. Justy gladly says that he is a tiny person now. All the girls fall for him because he looks incredibly cute. Happiness shows her presence and asks them not to move from their spots. Now, Hell has grown into a big lady and seems a real deal now. She demands her to show some powerful magic as she is dying to taste some fearful magic of the demon princess. It makes Hell angry that she shouts at her to stop her babbling. But unexpectedly, some skulls pop out and attack on Happiness. Hell is surprised and excited, wondering if it was her power and if she has become fearsome. She runs to Justy, who cutely admires her that she is so cool. She evilly smirks that she can now give him the fright he deserves and demonstrate the untouchable majesty of a demon princess. She can't let this chance waste away. Happiness comes out of the pit while laughing that she is not half bad. It must be a high level of necromancy that sends shivers all down the spine, and it would be her first time using it. But she has memorized it. Glorious tells them that Happiness is the magic prodigy in her own league, if even for once she can instantly memorize the magic spell that is used on her. She uses the same spell, asking for more powerful attacks from Hell, and if Hell cannot give it to her, then she can just die. This spell is more powerful than Hell's, and she throws it to her. A blast occurs, and upon its smoke's clearance, she sees Justy has blocked this attack by standing in front of Hell. He won't let her bully Hell. He asks her if she is alright, and swears he won't let anyone harm her. He turns to Happiness in anger that she is the bad lady there, and he won't let her lay a finger on Hell. Even Hell is in a woman's body form. Her heart throbs when he asks her not to worry. She sees Justy and Hell being lovey-dovey and cannot understand it, but she asks them to prepare themselves for her next move. Happiness terrifyingly is about to use her skill, but falls on the ground because her magic has been reduced. They capture her and bound her to a tree using a rope. Hell is still in her adult form and laughs at her that it's an unsightly end for her. She would have so much to tell them and should start from the kingdom's vulnerabilities. Happiness gives a smug reaction and does not intend to tell her anything. Hell is carrying a thorny slash and asks her not to take her lightly as she is the demon princess. Justy also arrives there in the meantime. Hell thinks of taking benefit of this opportunity and letting him see how devilish she can be. Justy cutely forbids her not to bully Happiness. Even though she is a bad lady, he can make her a nice lady. She is moved by how he is asking with his cute face and asks him what he is carrying in his hands. He tells her that it's a magic bleach that can purify Happiness's evil heart. It's Hero's purification skill that can make anything sparkling clean. Some drops of beach fall into the lake water, and in seconds, fish and alligators turn into bones but sparkle bright shine. He goes, taking this bottle to Happiness to have it, but Hell stops her because it has cleaned the monster in water down to the bone. Happiness takes this chance and summons her a witch brush as some of her magic has returned. She rides over it to get back and tells Hell that she is really intriguing. She has magic potential, but it's untapped. After saying it, she flies away, and the couple returns to their original form. Hell is horrified that she has returned to her normal form. She was cool back then, but Justy is pleased and holds her hands that he can protect her in this form rather than her tiny form. She blushes and embarrassingly says she can protect herself. Glorious tends to the leg of the horse. She has fixed the injury, but this horse is quite old and can't take much more. Hell decide to fasten the horse and let her rest. The elderly must be given the care they need. But it will be too late for them. Amora is starving, but Akoya has turned into her dried fish form. They have to get to the next town so she can be submerged in water. They will need to replace their horse first. She smirks and has already a perfect candidate in line. She makes Justy responsible for riding the cart. She imagines him getting shocked and herself hysterically laughing at him that he has to pull her in shame. She will see him regretting ever being brought from the dead. But ruining her expectations, he energetically makes a setup to pull the cart. She slams on the cart's wall thinking if it's him, he would be eager even to pull the cart. While he is energetically pulling the carriage, Hell is riding the cart. She looks at him and observes him having fun, but does not delve into her lovely thoughts. The point of her exercise was to torment him. They come across some villagers where she feels embarrassed to have an audience of villagers. She can hear them talking about her that she is getting a boy to pull a cart for her. Even if she is human, that's such a despicable act and it leaves her embarrassed. Justy asks her not to worry about it. He is more than happy to labor for her, and serving her is all he would wish for her. She calms down but doesn't want him to cheer her up. Hell informs her from the back of the carriage that Akoya is in critical condition and her breath is gasping. Justy's one eye burns in flare and he grows his wings. He flies like an angel spreading his feathers and it mesmerizes her. They are on the edge of the cliff and he takes them down to the cliff. They fall from a cliff, but he manages to fly the carriage too. He apologizes to her that it took him time to cast a float spell on the carriage. Hell was so scared due to the downfall, so she is about to get angry on him, but he appreciates her that she has not lost her composure and she does not seem exhausted. She makes a fake smile and arrogantly says he is talking about the demon princess after all. Soon, a flock of migrating salamanders follow them and pose a great problem. To avoid them, Justy increases his speed to move ahead and make his way clear. This high-speed movement has caused her nausea. Justy is concerned about her, so she shifts his attention by saying it may not be a problem for her, but what about the ones who are in the carriage? They all sneak out their heads and seem to be enjoying this ride. However, Akoya is still in bad condition, and they are in a race against time. Justy decides to ignore any obstacle and simply fly there dead straight. Hell agrees with this plan, but he goes ahead with his full potential that she is holding her breath and making a cute face. He asks her if she is alright, but her ego does not allow her to decline him and thumbs up, showing she is fine. They finally end up reaching the nearby town but land drastically on the ground, breaking the carriage. Hell has been feeling fuzzy. She felt like her heart was going to burst out chest, and it is still thumping fast. She is angry over Justy to drag her master to the brink of death. She sees Justy has been soaking Akoya in the fountain with the hope she will come back to them. She opens her eyes and then energetically agrees to come with him anytime. Hell has been seeing him grinning, and instead of getting jealous, she feels satisfied that the whole drama was to save one of her allies. Her heart thumps hard and she does not get the reason. All girls except Hell take a bath and feel so refreshed because they have been cooped up in the carriage for days. Hell and Justy went to find a weapon shop some time ago. We see them roaming in the town, which is famous for its blacksmithing. An old bald man who looks like Pixis from Attack on Titan inquires Justy if the gear he is wearing is enough for him. Justy proudly agrees that it's not a problem for him. Hell grabs his hand worryingly and asks him what he means by he has no problem and how long he will fight with his bare hands. He cannot even beat the Survey Corps, and that's why they have been fleeing in a carriage after leaving the dungeon. She orders him to equip himself with something this instant. He becomes so pleased and cries with gratitude that she is even purchasing him a weapon. In order to repay this favor, he swears to protect her. He requests the shopkeeper for the finest armament he has, and she whispers to the shopkeeper to get him the finest and cheapest weapon. He brings out a strange, funny, Joker-like weapon. It's made with the finest materials, but it has been gathering dust due to embellishment. She is shocked that it's so tacky, and then gives an evil smile that it's a top-shelf weapon, but it's too tacky. She imagines him being made fun of by people around them. He requests her to exchange their weapons, but she declines him that he is a servant and that the weapon is according to her preference. In reality, some dudes hit on him and make fun of his sword. Hell is waiting for him to get embarrassed, but he points it to them and asks them to refrain from their babbling. This tool is for his beloved master, and he will not allow anyone to belittle it. Hell is disappointed by why he is not embarrassed and even calls her a beloved master. Those dudes are about to start a war with Justy, and before they do anything, Justy knocks them out and stands in dashy pose. She falls for him because he is looking so damn cool. He gives credit to her that it is wonderful as it was her who bought it for him. She listens to others whispering and making fun that she has horrible taste. She imagines the girls back home also mocking her for her pick, so she grabs his hand to go back and get him a different sword. Hell and others are also in the town and have been searching for Justy. Hell had told him that they would get a new sword for him, but he disappeared. Her sight falls on him, so she calls him from back. He has a thug look and rudely asks her if she has got something to say. She bought it for him, so it's his sword, and he has the right to decide what to do with it. He also likes this sword, so she has to shut her mouth. He says all in a thug-like manner, but her heart still throbs for him. Glorious feels strange about his behavior and senses some wicked aura coming out of the sword Justy has. He may be afflicted with the power of a curse that resides in a sword and must have turned him into a hooligan. Hell hysterically laughs that he has spent his life as a shining perfect example of a hero, but he has become a dropout hooligan. Those dudes who were knocked out by Justy appear there and notice Hell as the one who picked the sword for Justy. Being pinpointed out makes her embarrassed, so he calls them the uncouth delinquents who were defeated by the tacky sword. It triggers their anger, and one of them captures her to pay back with her body. Justy appears on the scene, knocks down the other person in a flash, and asks the other to take off his filthy hands from her. That person does not listen and threatens him that he is about to do something with her. Justy throws the knocked out person onto the other one and uses his magnificent skill to defeat them single-handedly. He scolds her to do exactly what he tells her. Then he slams on the wall, cornering her, and says he is here to protect her, so he does not want him to take one step away from her. Other girls have been observing him being this cool and feel that the curse should not be lifted out. Hell is worried that her demon army will become a hero's army at this rate. She goes back to the blacksmith and asks for the best weapon so she can defeat Justy. The blacksmith shows her a shining and elegant sword, the legendary hero's sword. It's the latest model that came just the other day, the hero Justy model that put an end to the Demon King. Hell is amazed that Justy is famous here. Hell asks her not to say a word about him. However, Hell continues that he is very strong and attractive, so why does she get irritated with him? It can be the reason that she feels embarrassed. Hell blushes and moves ahead. She bumps into Justy, who glares at her and aggressively asks her to watch where she is walking. He pokes her head and says he won't get her out of the problem next time. She throws off his hand and says him to watch his tongue, he will not order her around. He has become quite mad ever since this curse has taken over him, so he must dispose of this sword. He scowls at her to say she was the one who gave him a sword, and what about the curse she is talking about? She trembles with frustration and turns other side, asking him to do whatever he wants to. Justy clicks his tongue after that. Amora and others are across the carriage, and the one in charge of repairing it demands gold because the pedestal and wheels have to be replaced. They decide to report it to Hell first if she has this much amount or not. They see Justy sitting over the pile of some defeated people. One of them brings the boss of their clan, who is furious over Justy that he has been making noise in his turf. Justy is enraged at this moment and has been beating those guys coming one after one. He defeats that boss in an instant too. Amora sees Hell, and Hell are also here. She summons her close to her and points to Justy. He is beating those thugs one by one and yelling like he is transforming into Super Saiyan. He whacks the pile of people while saying he is bleeding worried, even though he was the one who swore to protect her. Hell is turning red out of embarrassment. Those girls give their own funny comments about his love for her and how it's cringing. When he is cursing and moping about why she does not rely on him, Hell realizes something. He asks him to stop as it's quite enough and he is an eyesore. She says cutely while blushing that she had not realized just how much he cared for her. She does not notice there is an audience around her who directly sees her face. They consider it her confession and gossip about it. She turns red and runs away out of embarrassment. Justy back there requests her to wait and not leave him alone.